Hi everyone and welcome to another video. I finally made it. I finished my sketchbook. It's been so long since I had the idea to go on my very first sketching trip and film the process behind it, and that's when I started the sketchbook, and it was my companion ever since. I really liked it and I always tossed it in my bag just in case I see something pretty to draw. And most of the times it only has seen the insides of my bag. That's why it took so long. So I needed nearly 2 years for 20 pages, and I finished a lot of sketchbooks already, but this in particular is very special to me because every page is like a memory of mine. These are not just random made up places, these are places I've been to and journeys I captured. So whenever I open it up, I don't think, oh wow, this is nicely drawn. I think of all the stuff that happened that day, what I ate, what people I met, my mood swings. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little flip through where I show you guys everything that happened that day and every behind the scenes information. So I'm gonna start now. Oh, and I don't draw in chronological order. I just open it randomly up and draw whatever page it lands on because it stresses me out to start a sketchbook in the beginning and end it where it should end. Okay, starting off strong. I think, well, man, if I knew I would made these sketches the last ones, because I think this is the whole highlight of my whole year and also my favorite sketches. Paris. Yeah, what can I say? I'm a simple girl. Searching special stuff up that is pretty niche and interesting to Paris. Doing the main spots. There we go, that's easy. Drawing the lanterns, easy. Drawing the pyramid, also easy. But have you seen the building around it? It was so detailed and so huge and so many, I don't know, there was so much happening there. And I didn't know how to fit everything in there because there was just too much going on, and it's been crazy. And so I was thinking, okay, how to fit everything in one picture. I tried to merge it together and squish it in there, and if you look at it, it's not right. It's perspectively not right, but nobody knows because I made it that way. The guiding lines of the picture should still be aligned, but they don't have to equal the lines in reality, in real life. That's what I always do. I always squish it together to just make a nice composition in this own kind of way. And even if it doesn't look right, I mean, the perspective is kind of off, but it's okay, it works. The thing about the Eiffel Tower though, I thought prior to traveling to Paris, I was sure that you could see it from everywhere because it is so huge. It was so hard to capture it because I don't want to just draw the tower and nothing in front of it. So I searched for nice streets and I found this little one on TikTok. This was some hidden spot, but it wasn't that hidden because there were a lot of people taking selfies. It was so funny because I always sketched it and my boyfriend always took the video, and then there were some people that wanted to make a selfie, so I had to take my book and go to the side. I'm damn, you can do a selfie. Then I had to go back in there, so it was this on and off sketching experience. I remember that, but it was fun. I don't know, I really think it was a cozy place, and there were some stairs where I just could do the watercoloring at, and it was sunny and warm and way too windy. The whole pages were flying around, but that was a nice day. With the Arc de Triomphe, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I took my time with that and I really like it. It shows because there are a lot of details going on, but I didn't took the time to draw exactly the details out. I just make little hints and little shadows to point at them and show that there is something happening, but I'm not going to show exactly what. So I don't know, this is a trick, if you may call it that. I do it also with this tree, or if I have flowers or leaves. I don't have the time to look at every single leaf, so I'm just gonna shake a little bit with my hand and improvise and do this flowy thing, and that's what I did with the details here. Yeah, I think this is my favorite sketch, yeah. And I also remember going up there. I didn't know that you can go up there, and there was music playing and the sun was going down, and there was this one dude proposing to his girlfriend, and I don't know, it was a nice experience. I didn't film this page because it was way later when I drew it. This was inside of the Louvre. I took a couple of pictures and I didn't want to sit down there and draw there because we had like limited time and it's so huge. Like I totally underestimated how huge the Louvre is. That's why I drawn it way later at home, but I didn't film it because I didn't like the page and the colors. It's just so rough. Once I was good at drawing people and now I'm kind of better at drawing places and forgot totally how to draw people and anatomy. I have to catch up on that. Okay, I remember this. This was the very first sketch that I made inside of the sketchbook. And there I haven't found my comfortable pens yet. These are the Faber-Castell ones and they're a bit too dry for this paper. I like my pens to be juicy, nice. But these were kind of dry, so I kind of carved them in. But I'm also, if I look at this, I also really watched my surroundings and looked at the colors happening and was like, oh, this is red, so I'm gonna use a bit of red. Oh, this is purple, I need to use purple and kind of make the composition work. And later I got way too lazy. I just slapped my two comfortable colors inside and that's it. This is another perspective. I don't know, this shows to me that I don't always need something special as some huge sites in Paris to sketch, because I think this works just fine. This is just a bit of green and just a little waterfall and I don't need more. It is enough and it is interesting to look at, and I think what I like about it is that I played with different weights, not just putting shadows everywhere like I do now, but I also was like, oh, this thing is in the foreground, I'm gonna use that and make it more thick. And at this place there were also some geese that approaching us, and that's where I had the idea for the next one, because these are some ducks. No, I was searching the park and there was this little hidden area and there were a lot of ducks and duck babies chilling. I was, I wanna sketch them. And the one in the middle looks so crazy. Why didn't I fix this? I think this is my least favorite sketch because, first of all, what is this? I totally fucked that up. It looks so terrible, but also when I see that page, I remember the day and it was so cold. I remember being like, oh, I want to do a video about cold weather and how it is possible to sketch while it's cold. Yeah, it's possible, but it's still not fun. I remember my hands being so cold and I didn't have any gloves with me, so my hands were shivering and I had a lot of lines to do, and so I was like, oh no. Also, when I think about that day, we didn't have any cash with us and it was a Sunday and we couldn't just go inside of the cafe to warm ourselves up, so we were just walking around finding some spots to draw, but it was also terrible because it was so cold and I was so hungry the entire time. Yeah, that's what I think of when I see this page. Yeah, this was the same day. We just went up a hill and there was this viewing point, and you could watch over the entire city. It was so beautiful, and I made this photo because I didn't want to sketch there because it was so cold, and I'm not a fan of cold weather, as you might know by now. So I've drawn it at home, and I think I'm gonna use more splash watercolors on top because it would look so good if there was a little bit more going on, but I like it. It's okay, it's fine. Okay, this was a few weeks later. We went to this castle. I forgot the name, but we went up there and unfortunately it was closed, so we walked around the castle and couldn't find a nice place, so we went back down and I just sketched the scene. Oh, I have a story time because in one of these houses down here there was a little girl peeking through the window and watching us, and it was kind of funny because she was waving at us and it was kind of cute, and then she started drawing something on paper and putting it onto the to the window, and we couldn't quite figure out what it was. So at some point, my boyfriend said what if it's help me, let me out or something like that, because we couldn't figure that out, and she was pointing it at us. It was, I don't know, but later we figured it were just some random paintings of her, and I don't know, it was so cute. And when we left, she waved at us again, and whenever I drive past this little castle and these houses, I always think of this girl. Yeah. If you're old enough, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ah, yes, the wildlife park. I never sketched any animals before. Okay, of course I sketched some cats and dogs, but no wildlife animals. And when I went there, I first saw some sheep, and they were like kind of boring to sketch because everybody knows what sheep looks like. So I was looking to sketch something special, and I found these bisons, and they were just chilling in their little in their little group. And I don't know, it was fun because I could just sit down, take my time. They weren't moving much, and I just could study them and look at them. Okay, so between this sketch and the next one, there were at least like 2 hours. It was so impossible to find any animals there. I know it's an animal wildlife park, but it was so huge. It was mainly a huge forest with like huge areas that were it was like caged. But when you look inside, you couldn't see anything, like just trees and a lake, and I don't know, it was so hard. And then after 2 hours, we finally found this guy, this little deer. I don't know what to call it. Is it a deer? There were some random kids like touching it, and I was like, I won't do that. Please don't harass random animals at wildlife parks. But I don't know, it was pretty chill. I could just sit down, sketch it, leave. The next one, I love otters. These are my favorite animals, or something close to that. I really love them. And there was like, first of all, otters are always smiling at you. You just look at them and you have to smile back. It's like a genuine connection when you look at them. But the otter was so fast. He was just swimming and swirling, and most of the time underwater, so I couldn't it was so hard to even capture that on camera. And it was even harder to remember that and put that on paper. So I just captured some photos, and then I went back and drew it at home. Yeah, this was one of the more recent ones. This was the Lüneburger Heide. Oh, this was my favorite trip. I always say that something is my favorite. I just I just love the memory of it. I don't know, I remember being with my family, and it was also one of the quite recent sketches, so I really enjoyed sketching it and I really enjoyed being there. But I don't like the sketch at all. It was so rushed. But the next one, because I really liked the place, I also did not film this because it was just for myself, but I took some photos and I just drew one of them, and this was like a little cottage like house there, and yeah, I like how that turned out, but I like the process of the other one, if you get what I mean. Back then it wasn't a thing, but now apparently this is one of the new filming locations for the new Hunger Games movie that will air in like next year sometime, which is interesting because I don't know what they will do with this place. But this was the most interesting place out of them because there was like one huge building where you could go up there. There were also a lot of people, so I really had to find a place. And the further up we got, the more beautiful it looked. So at some point I just had to stop and was like, no, I'm drawing it right now. And then I stopped there and just filmed a little bit, and I like how it looked. And then we had some fries, I remember that, and we went down, and right at the bench where I was eating the fries, there was this, I still don't know what to call it, it was like a train, but not like a wagon out of a train, but like in old, it's some rusty old moving. But now as I look at it, I really like it, because sometimes you just need a bit of distance to your own work. Like, yeah, it's not my best drawing or something, but it's not that bad. I don't know why I hated it back then. Yeah, I like the place where I sketched it. It was like a crane, but it was, of course, it was old and it was shut down, so it was all overgrown by some plants. And I really liked the composition of it because it was so like linear, and I could just, it was like perfect for a page like this. I kind of went overboard with the watercolors. I kind of smudged around. Okay, the next page is the Berlin page. I visited a friend in Berlin, and this was my first time going to a cafe on my own and sketching there. And these are two things that I don't like. These these are things that are out of my comfort zone, because I kind of was worried that people might look at what I'm sketching, but nobody looked, nobody cared what I was doing there. So I was like, oh fine, I can just go to any cafe and do whatever I want because nobody cares. People are minding their own business, and if I want to have a nice cup of tea or coffee while sketching, why not? I just realized that my candle went off. Wait a minute. It's Halloween, by the way. I'm not that big of a pumpkin fan. I just thought he was cute. Okay, the next page was the botanical garden, and I went there with my friend, and prior to that we made some like cool selfies in a botanical garden. It was a bit rushed because I hate making people wait for me when we're traveling together or watching something together. I really want to go to a botanical garden again because it's really one of my favorite drawing subjects when it comes to like doing my own prints. I always include some leaves or something flowery in there, so it would be cool to use that as a reference rather than just going on Google and searching that up there. Yeah, I like the page. I like so many pages of mine. Wow. It's okay to like own drawings. Okay, the next pages are in Denmark, and the first page of it I didn't film or include in the video because I don't know, I did that in my free time with my friends, and my friends were climbing these rocks. Listen, I'm a clumsy person. If you give me a glass of water, I'll drop it. If there's some table in the room, I'll bump into it. And if there are some sharp, high rocks surrounded by water, I don't know. So I was avoiding that, and I just waited for my friends to do their thing there. I just sketched the scene and I kind of rushed it through. So this was just the coast. We decided to go on an adventure and discover new places to sketch, but I don't know what I wanted to sketch because there was just sand and water. It is a beach. I don't know what I expected. But the bunker was interesting. Like, there were many bunkers in Denmark, and I sketched that and some people. And it was also cold again. I have to remember to take my special jacket with me or something. I took my time with that. There were my friends. Like, you don't see that in the video, but at some point some friends of mine came by and they just sat beside me and we just talked the entire time I sketched it. And my friends told me like, Kathi, I thought your sketches were so relaxed and calm, but now as I'm sitting beside you, you're stressing me out. And I think this is something that you don't see on camera, but I often have times where like, I don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, there are a lot of moments where I just where it's not as aesthetic as it looks in the video. Yeah, but it's still fun, you know? Okay, this was my last one. Like, if you watch my latest video, also have shown this. This was the Main Tower, the highest building. It's not the highest, it's the fourth highest in Germany. If you notice this, I smudged two pages together. Why, you might ask? Because I'm insecure about the drawing beside. It's like I've shown a part of it in the video, but there was like some sort of boat in there, and I didn't want to finish it because I fucked that up, and I was like, I'm gonna stick it together at home. So I just moved on to my next one. But I like the sketch that resulted out of this. It's yeah, there's a skyline in the background and the little old building in the front. Oh, and there was also this one guy coming up to me, and he was like, oh, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, nothing special, I'm just sketching, urban sketching. Ever heard of it? And he was like, that's nice, can I watch you? And I was like, sure, you can watch me. And he was just like standing right beside me, looking over my shoulder, like, and I was so stressed out at the moment. People usually, I realize people are watching at what I'm doing, but like from far away, and they're like peeking what I'm up to, but this guy was like, he really wanted to know what I was sketching. The last one, yeah, I think I like it the best out of the three that I did in Frankfurt. I don't know, it was so cozy, and I think I separated it with the color in the back, and I really like how it looks like. And it's also a nice last page, finishing page, if you may call it like that. that was it. It kind of breaks my heart. I really like the sketchbook, and I want to start a new one, but I'm gonna approach it in a different way. First of all, I don't want to just do urban sketches. Although I like the process, it sometimes gets repetitive, and I really want to focus on drawing some people, maybe some more plants. I really like drawing plants, or just what comes to my mind, not being that stiff on the drawing subject as I am today. Style-wise, I really want to find my style, and although many of you guys are saying stuff like, oh, I really like your style, I'm like, it's rushed. The style results out of my panic. I'm just so fast that it looks as sketchy as it looks, but I really want to gain more control over what I'm doing. I'm gonna start a new sketchbook soon, so if you guys want to follow along or see my other sketches or art, I also do linear prints. I have a lot of linear prints. Yeah, see you guys in one of my next videos. Until then, bye.